Quite often, your sentences contain more than one clause or more than one complete thought, and sometimes you need to break up a sentence without ending it. There are 3 types of punctuation that can do this. You can use a comma, a semicolon, or a colon. A comma is a natural pause in a sentence. It can also be used to break up 2 thoughts that are combined with a connecting word. These can be words like and, but, for, or, nor, so, or yet. Let's look at an example. Let's say our sentence is, yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole, I've been a saint. So the comma would go after the word complaint, right before but, which is our connecting word. So let's look at the next sentence. King Triton does not want Ariel thinking about the human world, so he burns her grotto. So we look for our connecting word, in this case it's so, and we put the comma before it. Now let's move on to semicolons. A semicolon does the same thing as a comma. It separates 2 complete thoughts, except it doesn't use a connecting word. Usually, someone would use a semicolon to emphasize that their 2 thoughts relate to each other. Let's look at another sentence. Let's say our first thought in the sentence is, Sebastian sneaks into the kitchen. And our second thought is going to be that he almost gets cooked by Chef Louis. So if we wanted to combine these 2 complete thoughts, we would just put a semicolon in between them. And our sentence would say, Sebastian sneaks into the kitchen, he almost gets cooked by Chef Louis. Let's do another one. Let's say our first complete thought is that Ursula takes Ariel's voice. And let's say our second thought is that she uses it to seduce Prince Eric. So once again, we're going to place our semicolon right after the first thought and right before the second thought. And the sentence will read, Ursula takes Ariel's voice, she uses it to seduce Prince Eric. And by using a semicolon, we're emphasizing that the 2 thoughts relate because Ursula takes Ariel's voice for the purpose of seducing Prince Eric. Let's move on to colons. A colon is a little different. Its purpose is to direct the reader's attention to what follows it. It is most commonly used in a list. So let's say for our next sentence, we want to talk about all of the items Ariel has in her grotto. So our sentence would sound something like, Ariel has many items in her grotto. Gadgets, gizmos, who's-its, what's-its, and dinglehoppers. And we're going to put our colon right before we start listing off our items. In this case, it would be right after grotto. A colon can also be used when the second part of the sentence is more specific than the first. Let's look at another sentence. This one says, the sea creatures are all musically talented. The newt plays the flute, the carp plays the harp, and the plaice plays the bass. So in this case, our colon would go right after the word talented. Once again, it's going before our list, but we're also telling the reader that it's going to be more specific than the first part of our sentence. So these are 3 ways that you can combine 2 complete thoughts into a sentence. However, if you think your sentence is too long, you can always just end it with a period and start a new one.